Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Hope you're having a great day. We are going to review a low Plat Diva. Replay code, we copy that one. Shakens Pass. Diva, Plat 5, new Queen Street, description of the match, things you want to review. Engagement, target priorities, general game sense. Okay, so this guy doesn't really know what he should train, and that is fine. You played the game, you tried to win, and you lost, and you do not know why. I know I should have switched off when they went Zarya, no. But I didn't feel like that the game I wasn't getting rolled. You don't need to switch just because of Zarya. So first thing is, it's much more important to switch if you actually get punished, but that is not pick dependent. Like you can randomly die to just a better player on a different role that shouldn't counter Diva, but you still get countered. That would be a reason to switch. So Zarya that doesn't force you to switch is no reason to switch. You can continue Diva. But if you switch against, for example, you pick Diva because you want to counter the Junkrat, but the Junkrat is just better and he wins against you, you might consider to not switch, lose the game, and learn from it. You still play your best, you still try to win, but you just already know you don't have the mechanical skill or whatever, or don't have the knowledge, and then you have a good game to Vodreview where you know, okay, I needed to counter the Junkrat, I tried but I failed, and then you can see why you failed. So you can also consider not switching if you're actually getting rolled. Also feel free to laugh at the Mercy calling for help when they respawn to get pick up. Why? Pick up your Mercy from spawn if you can. That's always a good thing to do. Why would you laugh at it? Don't laugh at your Mercies, always pick up your Mercies from spawn. It is not only better for your team fight if you have the time for it, it's also very motivating for your teammates if you play with them and not against them. Let's go! Where's my history? Replays, import. View. Start at 2 minutes, perfect, there are not many questions. Skippity skip. So first thing I always do is of course start with your teammates. So what do you have? You just sort them, basically I like them to sort them by range or by engagement angle more or less. So what you have roughly is an Anna with a Zen and an Ashe. They all stand around from a little bit of distance and snipe down enemies. Together with you and Tracer on quite mobile heroes. So what I expect is that these three stand somewhere and have a core and shoot somewhere, and then you and Tracer fly around and try to pick off targets on the sides. That's what I would roughly expect. Of course, as Diva in this case, you want to control off angles, so the off angles cannot get to your edge from the sides, and your edge can always just shoot front and stand next to a cover, and the cover is never overrun from the sides. So basically, like if this is the battlefield, and you have random covers, you kind of want your teammates to be able to stand at each corner safely, but as soon as an enemy tries to flank this corner, it's the wrong color, but you go there and kill them as Diva, basically, and deny these angles, or you go onto the other side and kill them from behind if the enemies do not engage. It depends, of course, what the enemies have, what you do not know yet. Speaking of which, what we see is like somewhat a similar comp, just of course they have now a little bit more, the DPS is a little bit more static, while the support is now a little bit more mobile, and the tank is of course the same, and the N is the same. So the similarities are visible. Let's go. So one thing I have to say, right at the start, is it's a little bit difficult to say, because as I said, usually in Plat, DPS and supports kinda follow where they think the tank should be, and not what they actually see on screen. And as Diva, you kinda don't want to be a frontline tank, and this is already a little bit of a problem on low SR. And you kinda need to find a middle ground between playing correct and playing to your team. Usually, the long range guys would kind of like to have this angle, more or less, and then contest this one to advance from here to here. This is what your Edge and Zen should try to do, but of course they won't. And why would they do it? Because the alternative is to go down here, and then they can just get jumped from here, which also does not happen. So both things should but will not happen. And this is thereby a little bit difficult to watch, for example, like a Master Diva as it translated to your games. Because what happens to your supports and DPS is vastly different from what should happen And that's why you kind of need to be a little bit more dynamic and adapt a little bit better. With that said, I would still try to contest this high ground first. Why? Because on your level, there's just a high chance there's a random solo soldier on this high ground. Like at the start, you don't know what enemies are doing, but I would just try to start on the side and then boost you as quickly as you can around. You can even charge to here's Ryan, by the way, as Ryan, you do the same. And start controlling this high ground first. Why? Because more often than not, you will find a random single enemies there. The soldiers, the tracers, the Hanzos, they might randomly go there alone, and you can randomly kill them alone. Like if you, instead of down there, you could have been here. You see the soldier, you just walk up. As soon as you're in boost distance, he's already dead. Like you can just delete him from the fight before he's even ready to do anything. And the same thing said, usually the tracer should dive with you, but of course Tracer is doing completely own different things. Whatever she's doing, and this is just Plat. So you can control this. Just a note about guides for D.Va, you need to watch them at your level. Okay, you boosted him from a little bit too far away. So it made it kind of easier for him to get away because you were a little bit too far. And now you're out of position. What out of position? I mean, what I mean is the enemy can fully ignore you. You do nothing right now. So let's see this again. So you go down here. You have your boost. Again, ideally, I would have at least fly up to this high ground. Because why is this high ground better than this low ground? Quite simple. What is your rangeless D.Va? The range where you deal any damage is somewhere around here, right? This is your distance of your damage range. How high is the likelihood of an enemy randomly walking into this circle? Yeah, kinda zero. Like, why would now anyone walk there, right? Absolutely impossible. So if you set up on this one of these windows up here, and you can just shoot or drop onto this within the circle. But now you kind of cover this bus, you kind of cover this payload, you kind of cover the thing itself, you kind of cover a little bit this entrance to this megahertz pack. So there are some important, and of course you can also just, and of course you have an extended range with your boosters, so you can boost into this window, you can boost onto this high ground, and of course if you walk a little bit, oh no, the drawing's a little bit off, sorry. If you walk a little bit, you can boost also in this window. And this is what you want, that you can boost anywhere in this range, and this really increases your kill range by a lot. Because wherever you see a single target pop up, you can punish heavily. Like, you might not be able to kill, you kind of should, but you can at least force out cooldowns and a lot of resources by just starting off on this high ground instead of this low ground.
Hello there.
Hey Loco, welcome to the stream. So I really would advise you to really boost first into this area. Then just sit here inside and wait for your team to get some form of point or some form of position. Like, just give them time. It gives them the time to go to this window. Or what did I just do? Gives them time to go to this corner. Give your Anna and Ash time to go here. Give the Ash time to go to this window. Give your Tracer time to flank inside of these things. Just stand here and give your teams the time to set up the long range, because they are long range. You want them to shoot down here. You want them to shoot down here. You want them to shoot down here, right? So they can just shoot. So they need the position first. And then when you have this position, they can shoot freely, and you can decide which target to pick out. This should be your general game plan as D.Va. But instead, what you do is kind of okay. You start low ground and you see a soldier right away. You react by putting up your defense matrix. You boost onto him. You use rockets while boosting. Perfect. You stop your boost a little bit early, I think.
Nothing gets past me.
No, you kind of didn't. So you didn't reach him. Okay, unlucky. And now, you stop the chase. And walk backward. This is a small mistake, but it's still a mistake nonetheless. Because you kind of just decided to run backwards and Matrix Moira suck. And why is this a thing I even stop? Because this shows a habit. It shows you just have the habit of ending your engagement with a defense matrix, basically, independent of what you see on your screen. But your defense matrix, the better you are at really picking up visuals which you want to specifically block, the better your defense matrix gets. Like, you really want to see the sleep darts and antinate. You want to see the diva rockets. You want to see the helix rockets. You want to see junk red shots. You want to see ferro rockets. You really want to be able to see these things during the chaotic fights, Moira orbs. You want to be able to see these things. And this is training required. And also, don't walk backwards. It does nothing. Like, if you want to go somewhere, go to the sideways. But going back and forth just does nothing. So remove this one, go left and right. Always. So we have boosters again. Why are you walking backwards from Moira? Kill her! Walk into her face! Press W! So now we're a little bit confused. What do we want to do now? So now you see, you basically just do nothing, basically. And you want to remove this nothing by doing something. What can you do? Like, can you go somewhere, kill something? Yeah, kinda not. Do you want to fight in battle? Yeah, kinda not, maybe. But what can you do? Well, you can go into a position and deny this position for the enemies. Because why? No one wants to walk into a diva, right? So if you just go up to this corner, you control this area. Right? Still a little bit bad because they can shoot you from here, but they cannot walk into the open anymore for free. If you go into this window, you control this area instead. If you go into this window, you control this area instead. If you go into this thingy, you control this area instead, and so on. So you can freely decide. So you position somewhere to deny an angle for the enemies. So what we want to do now is you want to see where is my Ashe, which angle does she shoot, and you want to block the angle so your Ashe doesn't get overrun. So you see your Ashe, so where you go, for example, you can go here, so your Bastion cannot just flank around and kill your Ashe, so your Ashe can stand here and shoot the soldier Moira for free, basically. That's basically what you want to do. Right now you decided to do nothing, like, you do no damage, look at soldier's health. This is a type of diva thing. They always keep constantly shooting, thereby they always think they're doing something. But if you look at the damage they deal, actually there's no damage applied. And if you would stop shooting when you deal no damage, you would feel like, I'm standing here, I'm doing nothing. Maybe I should start doing something. And this is just a brain hack you can do as a diva. Like, stop shooting at long range when you do no damage, and then you feel really the pressure. Oh, I need to start doing something. You don't feel the pressure right now. You feel like you do something, but in reality you are doing nothing. This is good. This is good. A little bit chaotic and messy, but that's fine. This is good because it's good ops. Okay. A mechanical thing for all tanks is... This is good. This is bad. Why? What changed? Oh, sorry, wrong. So again, tell me what changed. This is good. This is bad. What has changed? Well, the one thing you cannot see because my ugly face is in the way, right? This thing down there has changed. You changed from having armor to having no armor. Now, if you don't block anything specific with your defense matrix, you want to use defense matrix when you are out of armor. Why? As long as you have yellow, as long as you have these orange bars, it means you take less damage, which makes it more efficient to heal you. Which means, so if you have armor, so how does it work? If an enemy shot, it deals 100 damage. This would be 100 damage on life. If it hits armor instead, it deals only 70% of damage. Right? So to heal 100 damage on life, a support needs to deal 100 HP, which is more than one Enna shot. But if the support needs to heal only 70 damage, one Enna shot is enough. So if you get damage during armor, it's more efficient for the support to heal you. If you are out of armor, you're not more efficient to heal than a DPS. That's why you kinda, as tank, you always want to keep your resources like bubble, defense matrix, shields, the Sigma sack, always for when you run out of armor or a shield energy, like Zarya shield energy or Sigma shield energy. This is when you want to use your cooldowns. So right now you run out of armor, so now you want to defense matrix. But what you do instead is you go aggressive. So trading with the tank was kind of okay. Like, it's kind of like an even trade, more or less, so it's fine. But now you run out of armor, and instead of getting healed, you fly around. So this will be an opportunity to actually fly to your team, get set up and healed easily and maybe pressure the soldier instead. The soldier was a little bit random, but return to your team when you are out of armor, or use defense matrix and cover. So you can also just, get behind and get more defensive, and defense matrix would also be fine. Because you have no armor. So just if you have no armor, just get healed. So what did we see? I really want you to do 2 things. First thing is, before the fight starts, or in between breaks in this fight, I want you to take a strategical position from where you can reach good points with your booster where you would want to be. For this, you need to know where do you want to be, and for this, you really need to go anywhere at the point and pause the game and place, what would you like to, where would you want to teleport now? Imagine you have a teleport, where do you want to teleport? Well, what's your choice as well? Either on this enemies, or on this one. Well, yeah, you want to be on the soldier, right? Easy teleport. And so, how would you know? Well, if you're on high ground, you could have reached it as soon as you see the soldier walk in. Like if you control this high ground, you see coming there, and you can boost, dead. Soldier peeks his head out of this window, boost, dead. If you see actual soldier sniping back zero bastion, you walk over here, boost, health back, and dead. Right? That's what you want to do. Strategical positions. And this should be applied on every map. And the second thing is, watch your armor. If you lose your armor, get healed. Get health back. Use defense matrix. If you have armor, you can trade. Okay, now we are back. And we just randomly jump in. It's kinda okay. But at the same time, kinda not. Again, I would prefer you to take a more aggressive position up here. Why? Because the enemies are not controlling this position, so you are as safe up here as you are back here. But if you are this soldier, let's scroll back. Okay, you have boosters available. Okay, if you are this Moira, this one, and the D.Va flies up here. Like you can still do a little bit of damage from here, not much, but you can always drop later if you want. But as soon as this Moira fades, well, she's always inside your range. So Moira can fade anywhere. Okay, so Moira can fade within this circle, right? So if you sit up here, this is your circle, you can reach her wherever she fades, except of course if she fades into your team. And this is a really problem for Moira. As soon as you are up here, Moira loses all her safety. Well, if you are shooting her from down here, well, she can just fade out and is safe, right? So even though you are now closer to her, you're kind of dealing less pressure to her. Like, all this time we were doing nothing again, because too far away. Like, really, look at your damage. Look at a soldier's health bar now. This is what the damage you do across this distance. Like this is 15 meters, right? 15, roughly. Look at this health. All this damage was from Tracer. The entire damage was from Tracer. You do nothing. You're AFK. You did nothing, right? And why? Because you stopped your boost here and the second time and didn't go to the closer position. And that's why it's so important for you to really boost to a good position and start engage from there, because then you can actually drop and do damage. You can drop a Moira and do damage. You can go and do damage. That's why dealing damage to Moira from here is better than dealing damage to Moira from here, because if she fades away, she's outside of your range. The range is very short. I mean, also, you can do melee attacks when you boost, to stop your boost. That's a very good habit. Freeze the burst.
Start pushing the barricade. Initiate defense matrix.
You absolutely want to defense matrix Bastion's turret form as much as you can. Like, if you use your entire defense matrix every single time you use turret form, it's good enough. You want to fully absorb his damage, Bastion's damage whatsoever. Like with this, yeah, of course you got to kill stuff. But couldn't you do this later? Like, couldn't you absorb Bastion's damage first and then explode later? Wouldn't it be better? Okay.
Activating
You lost armor, you need to fly back to your team. You don't need to fly far because your Anna is here, which is very random, but save your Anna. I mean, you're as confused as I am that there is a random Anna, but try to notice these things. Like, it's very easy to lose focus if you fly around with D.Va, I understand that. But you see your Anna there through the wall. And you just say, oh yeah, well, this is fine. Drink coffee inside of a burning house, this is fine. Like, I mean, how does your Anna stay alive? Absolute insanity. Oh, there's a thing with defense matrix and a healer and armor and everything, and there's a squishy. 2 squishies. What shall we attack? Dum. Well. Too far away to shoot. Better. Suspect. Solo Anna, go and kill. Why? Because your team is dead. So right now you want to die on payload, basically. Getting out is also okay. But it's just too close. This is the point. This is just too close. This is too much risk. Kinda can work, but it can also fail. Like, the enemy D.Va has the same boosters as you have. Like, there is no reason why you stay alive here. I don't know if she has actually boosters or not, but... It was risky. I would have died on payload and not take this risk. Like, if you died here, you lose an entire team fight. Like, dying there as last teammate is the same as jumping off a cliff at the start of a team fight. It's exactly the same. You leave your team in a 4 versus 5 for the next team fight if you do that.
projectiles.
What do we want to do? We want to give our Ashe and Zen angles to fight from, right? If we block this door, which angles do we create? Yeah, well, your Ashe can shoot from here, she will die to D.Va. Your Ashe can shoot from here, she will die to D.Va. Or Soldier, right? Being there does actually achieve nothing. While you waste the same time as enemy tank, you kind of want to be better than the enemy tank because you want to climb. And this achieves basically just nothing. So basically, just flying through onto this high ground, again, like always, would even be better in this case, because there's only a soldier and the enemies would have a hard time punishing you, and it's more uncomfortable for the enemies to deal with you behind them. The second thing is, if you want to give your support or Ashe or something an angle to shoot from, yeah, it's kind of difficult. It's because the enemies will not walk up through here to kill your Ashe. This is the main reason. It's like a little bit awkward. But okay. So right now, the thing is you're just wasting time. But the enemies are controlling the robots, so you don't have time. You kind of need to engage and kill something. But, like, what's your chance to engage and kill something? It's kind of nothing. So even this high ground is better because you have better vision of where you can punish stuff. Or this high ground. Right? It would be just better because there's a lone stuff running around. And this is just by chance. Like, there are 2 types of enemies, basically. There are enemies that say... Okay, actually, there are 3 types. There are the people that say, okay, tank is on point, and so the entire team is basically hidden somewhere in this area. Or there is the teams where the tank is up front, and the entire team is between the robot pushing and the tank. And of course, there's actually the teams where the tank actually controls the actual required space, which is this one, so either this door or this door, and the team is somewhere behind on cover. Right? So if the enemies, so you have seen the enemy tank, right? So you know, okay, the tank is here. So where do you think are the options for enemies to be? Well, either this flank, or back here, right? And this is basically your options. You either deny this flank, or you deny this flank, or you deny this flank from the backside. Why? Because you cannot fly into the main and kill them, but you also cannot frontline. D.Va is not a frontline tank. Like as Ryan, you would just go here with your shield and just go push in, maybe. But as D.Va, you have mobility and stuff, so you would just use it to fly to the back. High ground onto the enemies, in this case. The thing is, the tips I'm giving you right now are kinda very limited to this game. They're not very universal, that's why I do not like them at all. But at the same time, I just see that this is a type of gameplay you are lacking completely. And that's why my recommendation for you would be to train, to set up where it's uncomfortable for the enemies. Like, if you are this enemy, in which direction would you like to shoot? Yeah, well, in this direction they're looking. If you are this soldier, in which direction would you like to shoot? Where would you not like to be pressured from? Yeah, well, pressured from here. Very uncomfortable for the enemies. Pressured from this side. Very uncomfortable. Like, shoot the widow from behind. Like, drop here, shoot her from back. This is very bad for the widow. And this is kind of like a pattern. Like, you will see these patterns the more you try to execute them. Try to be where it's uncomfortable for the enemies and not where they want you to be. Like, if for them it's very good if the diva is there. But really try to clean up from one side, so either from this side or from this side. Like, in this case you fly of course through the window because you know where the enemies are. And get them one after one after one. And don't attack the big clump in the center. So like you don't want to see this big clump and see, oh yeah, well I blocked this big clump. This is not how diva works. You really want to go one isolated enemy. You can go behind and isolate this enemy. You can go up here and isolate this enemy. You can go below here next to the bus and isolate the diva, the Moira. Like try to isolate, like find an angle where an enemy feels alone and does not get help from team and needs to run. This is what you want to do. This is good. Do that earlier and faster and quicker. This is good. Okay, take control of the robot, it's fine. Like this is an objective-based game, so you capture the robot, it's fine. You lost ammo, you need to find your supports. Okay, alternative is good. Too greedy. Yeah, this was too greedy, I saw that right away. You wanted too much. Just remake, get back to your support, regroup with your team. Because right now, your entire team is here and wants to do stuff, but they can't because you died. If you didn't die, you could do stuff. So there wasn't much reason for you to continue going. Because this kill on Ash, and now the enemy snowball. They killed you, the rest of your team went in 4 and 5. Now you Ash died, now you go in 4 versus 5. But you never regroup, you never take control, you waste ults, you waste time. Don't stagger, go back to your team. Yeah, block the bomb with defense matrix, good idea. There was a solo soldier on the side. Like, go kill the solo soldier, he was isolated. Like, what you want to do is to create asymmetric situations. You don't want to go in, like this is your team, this is the enemy team, and now you just basically go inside and trade evenly. This is not what you want. You want to create asymmetric situations. You want to create situations where this is the enemy team, this is your team, and you go around and attack this end. Because there's a target that is not a diva, and so you have an advantage over this target. And you are... So imagine 2 divas just standing in front and shooting at each other frontal. How much better is a Grandmaster diva compared to a Silver diva in this situation? Like how much better can you aim or use cooldowns to really win this one-on-one? Like really not much. So the Grandmaster Widow, diva, will win with 50 HP more. Not much. It's 50 HP maybe. Like a little bit better blocking, a little bit better melees, a little bit better flying around maybe, I don't know. But you find the soldier, then you find the widow, then you find the Moira, then you find the... like you have a lot of skills, like flying, finding, spotting isolated targets, defense matrix, the correct targets, a lot of skills. And with this execution and training up your skills, you can do better than the enemy diva. Because you're the better tank, you want to climb, right? So you want to train to be the better tank and execute this chain kill reaction to do this faster and more efficient than the enemy diva, basically. You don't want to one-on-one the diva and just frontline her because you don't get advantage over a Silver diva. Like you would do that if the enemy diva is a lot better than you. Like if you are tracer, if you are like a Plat tracer and you need to counter a Diamond tracer, you can go Tracer and just waste her time. If she wastes your time because she's a better Tracer, so you, by wasting even time, you kind of still can win. But if the D.Va is the same level, you want to learn to be better than this D.Va, so you want to play in a style that allows you to be better than this D.Va, but right now you're not. And this is the main issue. Again, today, my Vodreview kind of going for too long, explaining too much. I'm very sorry. So we skip a little bit. So, is this what you want to see? Is this where you have an asymmetric fight and stuff? Yeah, well, because there's a Moira, right? So we shoot the Moira, this is fine. So Moira is out. What do we do now? Like, we have nearly exactly the image I just have drawn, right? Here's the enemy team. Here is your team. Where do you want to create the asymmetric fight? Yeah, well, here, right? Because Widow is much worse in trading close range 1 versus 1 than the D.Va. So if you fly into the Widow's face, you win. And then you snag Anna. And then you snag Soldier, right? And if you lose your armor, you fly back to your team or health pack and then to your team to repair. And then you do the same again and again and again and again. And you do it so fast and efficient that you kind of overwhelm the Zarya, who has no movement abilities, have just 50 meter range. So your team can just snipe her off from range before she gets close, use cover and kill her, while you snag your entire team because you have boosters, they cannot run away from you. But instead, what's your damage? Now we deal something, but now you are inside the face of the entire enemy team where they want to look. Like the enemies are already looking this way, it's good for them. Like the position is good for them, right? Like do the same but do it from here. Much more convenient, let's fly around this car. So Soldier, if he wants to shoot at you, has a car in his way. Much more uncomfortable. Like, fly inside here. Shoot them from here. Like, what is this Anna going to do? Sleep the wall? No. Antinate the wall, who cares? Like, it's much more uncomfortable for them to be behind them, for them. But instead, you face tanks the entire team like it would be a Rhine. Like, you can do that, okay? Because you waste a lot of the time. Because they have graph and so on, so it's kind of okay. But you kind of will never have a chance to kill anything with this approach. Die on payload. Don't waste time. Die on payload. You're staggering. Die on payload. This is very bad. Even the wave. Why? Go and die on payload. This is absolutely horrific. Don't do that ever again, please. Jumping off the cliff would now be better than continuing this charade. But well, I guess you're close enough. I mean, Yoko still died. If you would have just died on payload and regrouped with Echo, Echo would still be alive and you would still fight with your Echo together. Like, to be honest, your mechanics are not very sharp as well. So you will have to train mechanics as well to have a better kill execution. But this will, you will learn by just doing it more often. Like, the more often you fly to isolated targets, try to kill them, the better you will get at killing them. That's why I'm not criticizing this too much. And so it might feel like a waste of time for you now, because right now what happens is you fly onto the Junkrat or Soldier and they just get away alive. But this is not because it's the wrong thing to do, this is because you lack the skill to do it. And you will get more skill by doing it more often. There was a Soldier alone. Go to the Soldier. Yes. Just a tiny hint for executions. You want to fly here. So shoot you from the back. Because he would likely to escape into this direction or into the health pack, and by blocking this way from here, he's kind of blocked. He needs to run towards your team and then he's more likely to die. Yeah, if you were rockets he would be dead. Close enough. Okay. Again, you attack Anna from front. Like, if you would have wrapped behind, it would be a lot more uncomfortable for Anna. Because where does she want to run? Like, it's much more terrifying for Anna. Like, it seems kind of waste because you can just turn the camera, right? But it's just a big difference in pressure if you go behind them, if you go from front of them, onto them. There is a Zoro Diva on the side, on this side. You could go and kill this isolated Widow. I mean, like.
Initiating defense matrix.
Like, why? Why are we not killing the Widow? Okay. I guess I take it. I mean, this is just sloppy execution, honestly. Like, you kind of ignored her, then ignored her, then flew away from too far. That was really weird. Okay. Like... Hey, we heard a Zoro Zarya. You can really hear that she's alone and hiding. Fly up, fly behind, grill her out of her position. Like she has no cover, nothing. You can just terminate her existence right here. Like instead you kind of on long distance, block a little bit the nothingness, like from an angle which you can easily escape. Like you will get her eventually, maybe. No, she gets even away. Like you're shooting from too far away. Like no armor, you need to reset. Now you need to heal, no armor left. Yeah, you have either a mini health pack here or a mega health pack here to heal. Oh, mini health pack down there, okay. There was also a mini health pack down there. Was really more confidence in engagements. Like really be confident, like really fly behind them and terminate them. One after one after one.
30 seconds.
Every time someone's alone, you kill him. You go and kill him. Okay. This is I think where we end the Vodreview. This was I think really your biggest drawback. You need to kind of go more behind them and kill them from where it's uncomfortable, where they cannot run. Fly behind them, kill them. Train this more. Be a Terminator. Kill them. Blow them out of existence. Second thing is, don't stagger randomly. Just die on payload when the fight is over. It doesn't matter. Just die on payload. And third thing is, if you don't have armor, go and get healed. Fight with armor. Reset when armor is lost. Try to use as little of the health as possible. Like, it's kind of like, it's okay if you finish the one-on-one and you use health for it. But if you have kind of this broader diva situations, where you can still do mini resets, where it's not fully engaged, but it's further apart, you can still reset, do the resets when you have no armor. Okay, this is my 3 tips for you. Hope it helps. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I would really love to hear some questions. If you want a demonstration, just join my stream. I will demonstrate. I will gladly demonstrate. Currently on Diamond as tank, I think. Is there anything else? Yeah, if someone else sees this and wants a Vodreview, feel free to join my stream as well. We have a Vodreview as channel point reward. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.